I don't know how to describe the sensation of what it feels like to have ataxia other than it's a little more time consuming. Everything is a little bit slower and harder to do. The balance portion of it, I don't realize I'm off because I don't sense what my body's doing until I'm starting to fall over. And then I realize there's a problem, but it's too late. The back of our brain, which is called the cerebellum, that part of the brain is slowly degenerating or going away. So it starts with difficulty with balance and gait and then progresses to anything that has voluntary muscle control. So difficulty with speech, breathing, anything that you have to physically do yourself. I found out that I had ataxia through genetic testing. They told me at that time I'd probably be in a wheelchair by the time I was 40. At 21, that's hard to take. Not all ataxia is genetic, but mine happens to be genetic. I watched my father have the disease, so I grew up watching him have trouble walking and become in a wheelchair. Other kids didn't understand, and so they would sort of tease me about my father being drunk because that's how he looked, but he just had trouble walking. I actually became a physician because of the experiences I had with my dad. Knowing something is going to happen to you in the future makes you focus on today and really appreciate what's happening, your friendships, every opportunity you have to live life in the fullest, because you realize that there is almost an expiration date. I picked my job because I felt like I could do that in a wheelchair. Although I loved so many things in medicine, I loved pediatrics, I loved doing surgery. Those are career paths that weren't going to work for me. I love being a radiologist. It's a wonderful field. It's very technology oriented, so it's constantly changing and moving forward. And I love the people I work with. I work at Methodist Hospital, and I'm proud to work there. I'm proud to work with the people I work with. I won't say exactly how old I am, but I'm older than what they had thought that I should be in a wheelchair. And I'm still not in a wheelchair, which is kind of interesting because nobody knows exactly why. I've always taken a really active role with trying to do things that are helpful for my balance. I do yoga, but I have to do a private yoga session because if I do a general yoga class, I'm such a risk to fall that the yoga instructor pretty much has to be with me all the time and ready to catch me or modify the moves for me so I can do them safely. So I can't do a general yoga class, but I take private yoga lessons. I go to physical therapy, and I go to a balance center specifically that is helpful because it has harnesses and different things that keep me safe, and they have equipment there that's specially designed to improve your balance, and they can help you know where to put your weight or do certain things to keep you more in balance. With the weighted vest, it's much easier because the weights are weighted in a special way and it's tight on your body. So somehow it's stimulating the nerves to let your nerves know where your body is. So now all of a sudden I'm aware of what my upper body's doing in relationship to my lower body, and I'm able to tell more clearly if I'm a little bit off. So I feel a lot more stable when I'm walking with the vest on. I go to a gym and work out with a trainer specifically to help me with my core strength. Any kind of movement or having to force myself to use my skills to stay balanced, the better I am. I take dance lessons. Mark, aka Skippy or the Skipster, had never taken swing dance lessons before. He had taken some ballroom dance lessons, but it wasn't very good. We have a great time. He's such a loving, kind person. He's very easy to love. And he's fun and funny, and I couldn't imagine being with anyone else. And I wish everyone had their own Skippy. He, being the person that he is, just never hesitated or never stopped loving me because of it. It was his idea to start a support group just so we could lessen the isolation that you have with the disease, to raise awareness of the disease, and just to share ideas and resources with other ataxia people.
If you're by yourself, if you're lonely with ataxia, it will get worse. Depression can set in, anxiety. We now have an organization where you can come talk to people that have the same disease or just a different type of it.
You know you aren't the only people out there that are affected by it, and there are other people with the same disease, and not just your family.
Now that we've had a few support group meetings, it feels wonderful to have that kind of camaraderie, to meet other people who have the same disease, to talk about what works for them, what doesn't work for them, just to meet their caretakers and have the caretakers be able to talk to each other, have each other as well, because as much as an ataxia person needs help, so do people who love an ataxia person. Anyone who has someone that's chronically ill needs support. It's a battle that you have to fight, and everyone's got a battle, but this is ours.
I have Frederick's started having symptoms when I was about 13. And just recently we got it confirmed that it was Frederick's. I needed to know, I had to know. The doctors want me in a wheelchair, but I'm not ready to give up. I'm so thankful for this meeting, to get to be here with all of you guys. I've made some amazing friends.
We wanted to make this meeting a place to be able to share, and even though sometimes we cry, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We're all here to support each other. We're all here to help each other, to do whatever we can to help everybody out.
People, you say you have ataxia and they're like, what's that? I've never heard of that. Or people are just so unfamiliar with it. I feel like that education in the community is a really important piece. Through the support group, it became obvious that people needed things like upgraded walkers or scooters, help installing wheelchair ramps, or purchasing wheelchair ramps, the weighted vests, which are very helpful. I'm really lucky because I have a fabulous job. I'm more able to do what I need to do out of pocket. But a lot of people don't have those means. And so that's what I think I want to help with as well through the Nebraska Ataxia, is help other people gain access to things to improve their lives as well. Increase independence, increase freedom, increase safety.
Physical therapy, my insurance will pay for 12 weeks of it. One year, that's it. And that's not enough for me, so I choose to do it in the winter because in the summer I'm more active. Us Ataxians do need to stay as active as we can and stretch and work out. Like, I'm really interested in taking yoga classes, but I'm on disability and I really can't afford that. Like, I really can't.
Initially with Nebraska Ataxia, I thought it was just going to be mostly a support group and kind of a small little fundraiser, and I'm not really sure how things grew to be so big. I just think it was one idea after another, and people's ideas and positive attitude towards it were like, you should try this and you should do that, and I just was like, yeah, let's do it. Thank goodness I've got people who I work with and friends, and everyone stepped up to the plate. What excites me most is having more opportunities to meet other people who have ataxia, who have a lot of life to live and ambition, and other people who support the disease as well. And then also just traveling. I learned how to scuba dive, which I've always wanted to do. And that's just a freeing experience, to be under the water and see a different world. My dream is to go to someplace like Bora Bora and stay in one of those thatched roof rooms and dive right off your room and dancing. Dancing is my favorite thing to do. And so I'm just going to do that till I absolutely can't. Even if I fall over on the dance floor, I'm still going to try.